I particularly want to thank our panelists. I know some of our panelists are already with us. Some are joining fairly soon. But I would want to thank Dr. Wask in absentia, and of course, the entire Moating, Mr. Kofi Buafo, Jerry Briscoff, our own man of excellence, and Amma Mason, our own Black excellence advocate, for taking the time really out of their very busy schedules, to join us this evening. Amara, are you on there now? Well, Amar is in Dubai, and I believe it's 11 p.m. in Dubai. She should be joining us shortly. And also, I know Denta is in the middle of an Asante Kotoko football match, and she's still going to make time to speak to us. I feel so blessed that we've got this amazing support from all our panelists. And I believe Dr. Wask has some important election victory appointments to cover this evening, but he's also going to join us tonight. So to all our panelists, those of you that are still on there, Jerry, I can see you on there, Mr. Kofi Buafo, and all our panelists that are yet to join. This is to say thank you so much for your commitment to supporting Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philanthropy Network. What an eventful year it's been. We've had the presidential elections in Ghana, we've had the US elections, and Donald Trump is refusing to leave the White House. And I'm sure by hook or crook, he would have to leave for Joe Biden to go to the White House. It's also been eventful on a number of fronts, the sad death of George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter protest, and ongoing Brexit negotiations here in the UK as we race frantically towards the 31st December deadline. But most of all, in all of this, and of course, there's been the COVID pandemic, which has brought so many challenges. But I think for me, there is so much success to be celebrated, especially the strong partnership between Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philanthropy Network, as well as the numerous NGOs that are represented on this platform who have done amazing work and have rose to the challenge during this COVID pandemic and have continued to deliver the work with very limited resources, whether in the form of COVID relief efforts or their core activities. So to all of you on the platform, I really want to thank you for going, for what has been a very difficult 2020 and for still being able to support the vulnerable communities that so very much rely on your services. This evening, what we would like to do is to ask our panelists to pick up on some of the high points from previous seminars that we've held throughout the pandemic and through the summer up till now. We will also hear from two beneficiaries who will tell us how these virtual training events have actually propelled their NGOs. And we will look ahead to 2021 and share some of our plans with you. As ever, for those of you who know me, I would like to re-emphasize the importance of good governance and ask you all to ensure that your organization's governance is fit for purpose in 2021. Please take the time to review and listen to the good governance seminar, which I delivered in May. I believe this is available on the NCVO Facebook platform as well as Instagram. Well, so without further ado, I would like to invite Charles Gunny, CEO of Wise Youth Foundation, to tell us how these seminars that we've held during the pandemic and up to now has actually helped him to move his organization forward. So Charles, the floor is all yours. Okay, I think we're having some difficulty getting Charles Gunny on. I can see that he's on now. So if you bear with me a moment, we should get Charles Gunny on for you shortly. Whilst we're waiting for Charles to overcome the technical difficulties, do feel free to post some questions or comments in the comment section. And also, if anyone wants to really say a few words about how these seminars or virtual workshops have really helped their organization, please raise your hand or send a private message to Mrs. Shirley Abedi-Buafo, and we will open the floor for you to speak as well.
Okay, I think whilst we are waiting for Charles to get ready, Dr. Wax has sent a representative to talk to us today, and her name is Sandra. So Sandra, I'd like to invite you to talk to us. If you can also unmute yourself and then introduce yourself to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama Shirley and Mama Yvonne. My name is Sandra Dalkofori. I'm a social worker, a business consultant, and a career coach by profession. And I also aid Dr. Wax in most of his philanthropy works. I'm also the CEO of Texi Group. It's a marketing design tech company here in the UK. So that's a little bit about me. And we currently also organize what we call the Wax Millionaires. And I'm the co-founder and chief strategist of the Wax Business Assembly, where we motivate youth, the young people in Africa, to take up positions wherever it will be. So that's basically about it. And apologies on Dr. Wax. For Dr. Wax, he had to get to an emergency something. So that's why he's not been able to be here. But he sent a competent person, and I believe that with everything going on here, we're really going to scale through. And thank you to everybody for being also here. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Sandra. We're really grateful for you for joining us this evening. We know that your involvement this evening will really benefit us. So would you want to say a few words about perhaps leadership, having worked with Dr. Wax on his leadership seminars and the WASC Millionaires? What do you think, our NGO leaders here should take, going forward in 2021, to take their organizations to the next level where leadership is concerned?
Thank you very much once again. And when Doctor really told me about the topic leadership, I was like, that sounds very interesting. And that is a very good thing that we really need to think about as NGOs, as organizations moving forward. It's something that seems so trivial, but it's so important in our day-to-day activities, because lack of proper leadership can run down the organization and even the NGO. And just to even begin, I'll just share a brief story about something I heard from one NGO. And so the current CEO, apparently, most NGOs, people mostly come to volunteer, and that's how we keep the NGOs going. But it's sometimes so easy to come from a professional point of view that you think you want to exert that type of leadership upon your people. And it was interesting when I was having a chat with one of the people there, and he was saying that a lot of people want to get out of the organization because they feel he does autocratic kind of leadership where I'm the boss, you need to listen to me. And I don't know those here. Some people here might be, working in NGOs and might even be CEOs or thinking of actually starting yours. Leadership is very, very key, because lack of proper leadership can run down the entire thing. So I would just give a brief what leadership is about from the small business. So basically, according to small business, they actually view it as the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal. That is basically what leadership is about. Apologies or no apologies, I don't know which one. I am a firm believer of the word of God, and that's how I've always moved with the things of whatever I have. So I'm going to really look at leadership from my standpoint, from the scriptures. And there's an interesting point of view from Exodus 18, and that really sums up what leadership is about. So in Exodus 18, I'm just going to wrap it through quickly so we can read. Exodus 18 verse 13 going, the next day Moses had the special job of judging the people. There were so many people that they had to stand before him all day. Jethro saw Moses judging the people. He asked, why are you doing this? Why are you the only judge, and why do people come to you all day? Then Moses said to his father-in-law, the people come to me and ask me to ask for God's decision for their problem. If people have an argument, they come to me and I decide which person is right. In this way, I teach the people God's laws and teachings. And from this short one, we can really articulate what leadership is coming from the biblical point of view. Most of us here right now are either, and we can either say we are we can either call ourselves as the welfare team, the CEOs, the vice presidents of the individual NGOs we find ourselves in. And people are always coming to us to say, okay, Miss Yvonne, what are you really thinking about this point? We really need to advance here. Probably even before this program was even actually done together, there would have been a host of people trying to say, so what are we doing next? Where are we going next? And it's so easy to be caught up in this whole things of people wanting to come to you, and you only want to be the boss to maintain the position to tell everybody, okay, come to me, this is this and this is that. Then the 15 says, the Moses said to his father-in-law, after he said that, 17, we come and see that, but Moses' father-in-law said to him, this isn't the right way to do this. It is too much work for you to do alone. You cannot do this job by yourself. It wears you out and it makes the people tired. And that is something interesting that I want us to look at today. Sometimes when we talk about leadership, we forget the aspect that tires people out. Most people here are holding the positions that are tiring us out. We don't have time for our families. We don't have time for anything. And at the end of the day, you go back home and you are so tired, like nobody can say anything to you. And you don't realize that you are spoiling your relationship outside because you've not allowed others to help you do that which you believe you want to do. So today, leadership I really want to look at is the aspect of allowing others to help you in what you want to achieve. My mom mostly says something from Ghana. She mostly says that wisdom is not in one person. All of us here have an individual wisdom that we come together to help each other. I was talking to Doctor one time and I was saying that if we don't have cobblers in Ghana, everybody will have to take money to go and buy shoe every time your shoe gets spoiled. So I cannot undermine a cobbler just because I think they're doing cobbler job. The same way as NGOs, you cannot undermine an intern because you think they're just doing intern jobs. You cannot undermine even the cleaner who cleans your company because you think they're just cleaning. Even in this COVID, you cannot undermine somebody who just reads your email or tells you, oh, Miss Yvonne, this is what the program is about. You cannot even undermine those people because they are the ones coming together to help your leadership become a substantial leadership where you don't suffer. So today's leadership that if we're looking back at the small business one where they say is the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal. That is leadership, and that's the one I really like. How are you motivating the people that are helping you to be able to fuel your dream for starting the NGO you have? If all of us gathered here don't come today, whatever Mama Yvonne and Mama Shelley want to do will not be accomplished. We are all helping together for their dream to be accomplished. We are the foundations through which they are using to make their voices heard. So if the people are helping you, how are you motivating them? That's a question that I really want to throw. And most of the times when I speak, I mostly leave gap for people to go and think about it. So I'm just going to end here with a question. How are you motivating people that are working with you to make that dream that you have for the NGO to help others come to pass? Thank you so much, Mama Yvonne. That's where I will end.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sandra. You know, and for those of you who may have joined the leadership seminar back in May, I made a comment when Dr. Was delivered the seminar. I said I felt like I'd been to church. And this evening, I think I'm having that feeling as well. But I think the essence is of what Sandra is saying is, you know, irrespective of your faith or what you believe in, you will be able to find some good role models, in your faith who displayed exemplary leadership, and in your circle as well, outside of your faith, you would find some role models that display exceptional leadership. What I'd like to highlight, and I've just grabbed my notebook back in May from what Dr. Wask shared with us. He said, who is in your golden circle? Who are the people that help you to actually bring your vision to life? And I think, I would want to encourage us all to think about who we put in our golden circle as we end 2020 and get into 2021. As a leader, and again, I'm looking at my notes from Dr. Watsky's seminar. He said, as a leader, you are the vision bearer. Before someone comes into your vision, they need to be connected to your vision. So bear in mind, you need people that connect to your vision, that can deliver the vision. And I'm pleased that Dr. Wask, sent Sandra to join us this evening, because for me, Sandra is connected to his vision. So if Dr. Wask is unable to join us this evening, he knows and he has every confidence in the fact that Sandra, who is connected to the vision, can feel his shoes and stand in on his behalf. Again, I would say if you've got any questions at all, please do feel free to use the comments section, post your questions. If you missed Dr. Wask's seminar on leadership, please go to our NCVO Facebook page or Instagram page and listen to that. It is a must listen, and something that you've got to listen to every now and again to remind yourself of all the key skills that are required of a leader.
Okay, Yvonne, I think Amma Manson is ready now. Okay. So Amma, please, if you are ready.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope I'm visible. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Amma. It's so good to have you with us. And I did introduce you earlier in absentia. And I did say, and I'll repeat it now that you're here. We're so grateful that you're joining us. I know we know you're in Dubai, and it's probably 11 p.m. in Dubai. Is that right?
It's 11:20 p.m. Yeah.
We love you so much. And, thank you so much for being committed to our vision. We've been talking about leadership, and we're really pleased that you're here to join us. So I'll hand over to Shirley to introduce you and say a few words about what you do.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
I believe you don't need any introduction, but once again, just want to thank you. I mean, as Yvonne said, you are in Dubai, and I'm sure it's past your bedtime, but because you believe in what we do, that's why, you are here today to talk to us. Also, I can see Denta. Denta is also in her car in Ghana at the moment. We are so blessed to have you all on. So not to waste too much time, please, Amma, please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Auntie Shirley. I just wanted to talk to you, like I did earlier on, about building networks. You are as strong as your network is one of the things people said to me when I first wanted to do an outreach. The people who know about you, the people who receive your message, the people who connect to your vision have to be in your network. And those people in your network need to be informed. They need to be aware of what you're doing. So you have to keep in touch with them regularly. They should know your plans. They should know progress to plans. And they should be able to feed into your plans, inform what you do, so that it's a shared ownership between you two. So the last time I was here, I talked about how to build a Facebook page, how to grow your Facebook audience. That principle can be applied to Instagram. It can be applied to anything else. But today I actually wanted to focus on something on social media strategy called funnels. So people ask me all the time, Amma, how do I actually get a mailing list? How do I know who to send my things to? And I'm like, well, people invented it a long time ago. They made things called funnels. And we all see funnels on our social media handles, but don't quite understand why it's there. How many people, let's make it interactive a little bit. How many of you, if you vote in the chat for me, that would be great. How many of you have been on social media and you see a picture which says, or an image or a video which says, click here to get a free ebook. Has anybody seen that on social media before? Click here to get a free ebook. I've seen it many times. And because I am a cheapsake, every time I see click here, well, before I became aware of these things, every time I saw click here to get a free ebook, I would click on it. And then I'd get into what I now know is called a landing page. I didn't know what that was. So you click on a picture, you click on a video, or you click on something. It says click here. When you click here, it takes you out of Facebook and it takes you into a place that you never really think about. And in there, it tells you about the amazing things on their newsletter, blah, 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 blah. And then it tells you to click here, put your email address in, and the free ebook will be sent to you. And because you want this free ebook, you don't even think anything about putting your email address in. So you type your email address in, and then the free ebook opens. Sometimes it's wonderful, most times it's not. And you're like, is that what, or whatever. But then a week or so after, you will get an email which says, welcome to our newsletter. It's so nice of you to join. We have these programs and we would like you to be aware of, blah, blah, blah. Has anybody seen it too, or is it just me? Anybody else aware of it? Have
Yes,
you thought twice about why people do those things, right? People do those things, and that's the beginning. That's the face of a funnel. The first step in a funnel is to harvest your contact details. And most people do that by offering you a freebie. It might be a free webinar. It might be a free ebook. It can be anything you might want given to you for free in exchange of your contact details. Now, anybody who's building a network and is smart enough takes those contact details and they put it into something called a database. The database can be done manually. The database can be automated. As your organization grows, you want to investigate tools that will help you do this harvesting and storage into your database automatically. So now you know who is interested in weight loss. Let's take that as an example. You know these people have clicked on to get your free ebook on how to lose weight. So these people are definitely interested in weight loss. And so you can target your message. You can send them your newsletters on a regular basis. Because you know it's an area of interest, you do know that they are less likely to ignore you. It's something they are passionate about. They were committed enough to click and put their email address in. So then you have to learn how to welcome people into your funnel. Hi, thank you for joining. This is the best place to be. This is a success tribe. We will send you a weekly message. So whatever your NGO is, you welcome them to the NGO. You tell them about your mandate, your vision. You share with them what you've done before, and that's your first email. In the second email, you would invite them to feed into your vision. How do you see yourself? So I don't know if you've noticed, usually email number 2 or email number 3, latest, in organizational funnels would invite you to share what you bring to the table. How do you see yourself feeding into our organization? Or share a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you do. And people like to talk about themselves. So when you invite people to talk about themselves, 99% of the time, people will bite. And they would respond and tell you, oh, I am Dr. So-and-so, or I believe in such a thing. I have a dog called Ernest. You keep things like that in the email. And the next time you contact them, you would ask them, hi, Dental, how is your dog, Ernest? It's a little bit of information you harvest from the previous message. And there are many, many tools now on the internet which allow you to set up your email system automated. So you type email 1, you type email 2, you type email 3, 4, 5, and you put brackets in so that the software itself would copy the person's name from whenever the data had been harvested, and also to pick figments from their responses so that your next emails are personal to these people. So each person is getting a mass email, but each person, because you put brackets in the command, so it has their name and it has 1 or 2 things that are personal to them, does feel that the emails you are sending to them on a regular basis is actually personal. People would think that you actually sat down and typed it for them in particular. And that's one of the clever ways to get people to buy into what you do, to share the vision, to feed into your vision. And then ultimately, when you've taken them to the end of the funnel, you bring them to what you wanted them to do for you in the first place. So it might be somebody you want to help you with fundraising. It might be somebody you want to contribute financially, whatever. Eventually, when you've taken the person on a journey, you can then share what your requirement is. And because you've built a relationship with the person up to that point, they are more likely to be favorable in their response to you. That strategy is not just for email. That strategy is also on your social media handles. You should be putting information on your social media handles, welcoming people when they first arrive, showing them around your page so they know the variety of things you have available, and also signposting future events and inviting people to participate. You want to look at things like Facebook groups so that you can have a community and people feel like they have a voice and they discuss things and they share things with you. And you take some of those things and you feed them into your year plans, into your half year plans, and you have that community of support around you, which is the absolute difference between people who run charities and do it successfully. Well, not just charities, any venture, and does it successfully now, and those who don't. I have thrown a lot of information at you, so let me take a pause and let me get some feedback off you. Is anybody familiar with what I was describing, that funnel I was describing already, or is it brand new to most people?
That was excellent. I think I have encountered, had this experience of funnels, but didn't quite know that it was called funnels. So thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you. I think this is an area that could really benefit our members and the NGO sector. I think a deep dive into funnels would be useful. You'll be regretting for coming on, but I think you will have to come again in 2021 and do a deep dive and teach us, sharing your screen and teach us how funnels work. And hopefully we would also draw on our own experience of having been funneled, if that's having been funneled, and really use that to our advantage, as NGO. But I'm conscious that we've got Denta to come on at 7:30, and she's in the middle of an Asante Kotoko football match. So I would ask if anyone has any questions. Maybe Amma could take a couple of questions, and before we get Denta.
Yeah. When Denta comes, just stop me until she does. I mean, it's a broad topic.
No, please ask the questions. I'm here for this, so you continue. Let them ask the questions, Yvonne.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. She's in Dubai. She's also a internal. I'm okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it looks like people have experiences of funnels. Today, I want you to take two concepts away from me. I want you to take the concept of funneling. Definitely go have a look and see what funnels are like. And when you are looking into funneling, the other thing to look into is the landing page. So as I mentioned, people have a picture on social media or wherever. When you click on that picture, it takes you away from, say you were in Twitter or you were in Facebook. You click on the picture and then it takes you from Facebook into another place. That other place it takes you to is called a landing page. And the landing page is one of the most important things in your funnel. Your landing page needs to be catchy. Your landing page needs to be welcoming. Your landing page should make a person feel like connecting with your organization. You don't want to clog it with a lot of text. You want to show a few images of things you've done, but you want to lead people on a pictorial journey on your landing page. There should be something general, a little bit more specific, more details, and the better landing pages actually allow people to click. If you are interested in, I don't know, children and welfare, click here, and that would take them to somewhere else. So the next landing page is all about children. If you are into adult social care, click here. That would take you to another place. So 3 people can come to your first landing page. Depending on the choices they make when they first land, it takes them to different places. And it gives them a totally different experience, a personal experience. And that is one of the things that very successful organizations seem to be doing now, using funneling and landing pages, leading audiences where you want them to, pointing them into the direction of, say, your donate button or volunteer button or whatever. So you take them on a journey, and when you come to the end of the journey, you land them onto what you want them to do with a call to action. And it's designed very easily. There are many cheap, mostly free design tools that you can use to make these things for yourself if you don't have the budget. Obviously, if you have the budget and you can pay professionals to do it for you, then it's easy. But if you are a startup, if you are starting out and you don't have people who do this professionally for you, there are some software that you can use. It has stock images. It can let anybody design simply. And there are funnels that you can use, which are for free to start with. And when you become skilled enough, when you have enough of a budget to support it, you can look at the bigger tools. Okay. Any questions, folks?
I think they're all taking in the information, Amma. And,
I know,
when they come back in 2021, they will have, lots of questions for you. I'm really interested in, in all of this, because I have seen some really good and successful entrepreneurs here in the UK who use that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if those of you in the UK are familiar, but there was a man who appeared on a program in the UK called Rich House, Poor House. Obviously showed us all his millions and his beautiful home and children. And then obviously I was then interested in, how did he get to where he is? And then I started following him. And then I got that email saying a free book, get my free book. And I'm like, well, then after that, I've had so many emails from him. But, my email system always puts him into the junk folder, unfortunately. But I try and even go in there and have a look. So there is obviously some benefits in having funnels. And using it to our advantage as NGOs. So we would really like to revisit the subject and do a really deep dive in there. And to all of you on the platform, go and do some more homework and research into this. We're going to bring back funnels here, and we're going to talk about funnels, and we're going to see how we can use that to our advantage. Well, I'm really pleased that we are on time, and I think we're getting good feedback here from all that we've heard so far. I'm also pleased that we have got, I would say, 2 people that I know that are really into social media and know a lot about it. Of course, yourself, Amma, and Denta.
Right.
Who is, I would say, she is like out there. I can't even keep up with her. And Denta spoke to us, Denta spoke to us a few months ago about the 21st century entrepreneur. And I think, social media, using social media effectively as an entrepreneur also is really connected, and some really great links there. So Denta, for those of you that don't know Denta, and I'll be surprised if any of you said you don't know Denta, but I'd like to introduce her properly. She's the CEO and founder of the Goober Enterprises, which consists of a number of entities, including the Goober Foundation, of which I'm proud to say I'm a trustee of. And also Denta has been very much involved in Ncvoghana from when it was set up. And if you visit the website, you see Denta at the launch event. Denta has been very supportive of the work that we do, and has been very supportive of the Ghanaian community here in the UK and in Ghana. And of course, she's very supportive of Asante Kotoko. I've tried to wear something with a bit of red, just in solidarity. But Denta is here today to talk to us about, pick up on some of the high points from the seminar she delivered on the 21st century entrepreneur. I think you talked about the challenges of setting up those businesses, and the successes in that. I must also mention that your very own daughter, Eria, now has her own shea butter brand. So this just tells you she's an entrepreneur. She's passing it on even to the younger generation. We're very pleased you're here. Do share some of your pearls of wisdom with us, so that our NGO leaders can also have that entrepreneurial spirit, use that to run their NGOs, and have those commercial brands attached to the foundations as you have.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you, Auntie Shirley, and to everybody that's listening and watching at the moment. Yes, I'm at the moment. The reason why I'm in the car is that our team is playing Leg on Hearts. And before I left, we were 1-0 up. which is good news. So that's one thing that I do. So I'm the head of diaspora and international relations for Asante Kotoko. And obviously, Yvonne mentioned the list of other things that I do. But when we talk about entrepreneurship, I've got some tips for you today to kind of really, for you to really look into before, you know, you can become a successful entrepreneur in brackets, right? Okay, so number one, I would say have a solid business plan. Planning plays a crucial role in any business to be successful. Okay, prepare for financial challenges. Now, COVID has taught us a lot. If COVID hasn't taught us to prepare for financial challenge, then, I mean, everybody knows that it has taught us a big lesson in terms of we were not ready for this COVID. No business was ready and prepared in terms of staffing, how to keep your staff whilst the COVID is happening. In terms of, you know, cutting down, were there things that actually you needed for your business that you could have actually, you know, done without? So that's one thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This is something that I think, especially in Ghana, a lot of people don't know how to ask for help. And I think that it's very crucial as an entrepreneur not to be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid. And that comes with confidence. Again, us not having, you know, not being assertive, not having that confidence. You have to believe in yourself as an entrepreneur. If you don't believe in yourself, you won't be able to ask for help. You won't be able to do it because you don't have the confidence and you don't believe in your product or what you're doing for you to be able to ask for help. So asking for help is crucial. Okay, put your faith in a trusted mentor. Put your faith in a trusted mentor. All of us, every successful person, trust me, that's really, really successful, has a mentor. They have a mentor. Absolutely. So you must make sure that you identify somebody that can be your mentor. And look, you don't have to just have one mentor. I have about 5, okay, in different fields that I look up to, okay? And that's about reading up on the person, you know, having that conversation with them, okay? You must make sure that you come prepared because having a mentor, right? So I have people that I look after. I mentee a lot of people, but I'm busy, and so you need to make sure that when you're coming to your mentor, you're coming with points that you want to talk about, okay? Because you're not going to have that mentor for a very long time in terms of the time that he or she can spend with you. So make sure you come correct when you speak to your mentor and have everything prepared. Number 2, look after number 1. You have to look after yourself. You have to make sure that you do have some times out. I say that all the time to people, but I try as much as possible to have some time out. People might not believe it, but I do. Sometimes, even when I finish events or whatever, you know, another person might say, oh, Denta, let's go here, let's go here. I tend not to because 1, I'm really tired. And 2, you also have to try and balance the family life. So making sure that you pick the right events to network, you know, the right places to go, so that you also do not burn yourself out. Okay, so that's really, really important. Build a team that shares your vision. Build a team that shares your vision. You must make sure that you have the right people that are supporting your vision. And thank God, I can say wholeheartedly that my Goober team that I have share my vision. I can literally close my eyes and know that my team can deliver a Goober Awards, can do an event, can do whatever, because we have built the foundation. Everybody knows their roles and responsibilities, and we work as a family. We work as a family. So, you know, those are my short tips. I hope they're helpful. It is very short, but I hope that, you know, it's very impactful. And the last thing I would say is never stop learning. Just because you're in a particular field, you think that maybe you've gasped it, you know, everything is cool, but you have to keep on learning. And learning is so easy now. Google should be your best friend. As soon as you type in whatever it is that you want to learn about, it pops up. Keep up to date with your skills. Even me as a pediatric nurse, like if I'm to go back to work, I'd have to do some serious online learning to get my knowledge back to scratch. Okay, even if you're a marketing person, what are the new marketing things that are happening now? All of these things are crucial on being an entrepreneur. You must keep on learning. There's new things that are happening every single day. And so you must make sure that you're on top of it. So I hope that this message will be a blessing onto you. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Denta. If you know, if you've enjoyed listening to the taking on board the 5 key things that Denta has shared with us, please do post in the comments, show some love, let her know that this, you know, you've taken all of that on board. I was taking notes. The first point that I have on here is ask for help. Put your faith in a trusted mentor. Look after yourself. Build a team that shares your vision, and never stop learning. You know, you've summed it up so perfectly, Denta, but I want to ask you this question. How important is taking risk and innovation, you know, to a 21st century entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think I left that one out. You have to, I'm a risk taker. You know, you can plan all you want. You can plan, but sometimes you do need to take that risk. And you have to just go for it. And I've been somebody like, for instance, the Goober Awards. My team had never done awards in the US. People are like, really, can you do it? You don't have a team there. You know, how are you going to get the people? How do you know where to go? And it was a huge risk, but it was the best risk that I had ever taken. And so you must learn to take risks as an entrepreneur. Okay, and that's how you even learn. Even if the Goober Awards had gone wrong in the US, I would have learned a lesson from it.
Absolutely.
And so risks are an important factor of being an entrepreneur. Absolutely, Yvonne.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So guys, we've heard it from Denta. Take calculated risks, take on board the 5 tips that we've heard, and keep learning and innovating. And I think, you know, I hope that these are some of the things that you would take into 2021 as you know, look at your business plans, or, you know, you start putting together ideas on what you'd want to achieve in 2021. Do what somebody else hasn't done before. You know, that's innovation. And again, you know, as Denta said, COVID has taught us that we need to be very innovative in the way we run our NGOs, in the way we run our businesses, in the way that we at Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philantropy, even how we deliver our training sessions. You know, we've been virtual since May up until now. And, you know, that hadn't even crossed our minds in the past. So innovation is key, taking risk is key, asking for help is key, having a trusted mentor is key, looking after yourself is key, and of course, building a team that shares your vision. Well, if anybody has any questions for Denta, please just raise your hand or post the questions in the comment box, and then we'll pick up those questions for Denta to answer them. Okay, not seeing any questions coming through. Any hands raised? Scrolling to the next. Well, Denta, in the absence of any questions or comments from our participants, I really want to thank you so much.
I think we can see Angela.
There's a question from
Angela. Angela, how did I miss you? Well, Angela, the floor is yours.
Angela, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Oh no.
Okay,
Can hear you
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Bluetooth, goodness. Thank you very much, Denta. That was very insightful. My question is in relation to the tip on never be afraid to ask for help. How, what I want to say is, how does that, or how have you found the experience of that, considering, if you like, the mentality in Ghana, not just in Ghana, probably the whole of Africa, that, you know, in the diaspora, let's just say things are more affluent. Has that had any effect on maybe how you help other people or how you view people that ask for help?
I'm somebody, I don't know. I'm somebody that actually, I know where I'm coming from. I know where I struggled as an entrepreneur coming up. And so when people ask me for help, I'm not afraid to help them or to guide them into the right direction. It might not be me personally guiding them, but I can connect them to somebody in my network that can help them. And I think that that's really an important question and an important fact that we as Black people and as Africans need to start helping each other. And not, because sometimes it's, you know, I say don't be afraid to ask, but sometimes it is hard to ask because we don't make ourselves accessible to be asked, if you know what I mean. We don't allow ourselves at certain levels to be asked different things. And so for us to be able to pull the next generation up, for us to be able to learn, and for us to be able to build as entrepreneurs, we, the entrepreneurs that are on top, you know, quite high up, need to be able to allow the younger people to ask us these questions so that we can give them the answers that they need. And so I've been somebody I'm quite confident, so I'm not shy to ask people questions and to ask for help. I'm very quite bold about that. But other people might not have, you know how to go about it. And if you don't know how to go about it, you can use somebody in your team to do that. You know, everybody was born differently. Not all of us is the same. And so you need to be able to find out who or how do you communicate better via email. And you feel that, you know, you can ask whatever it is that you want to ask via email. Do you feel that actually on the phone, you can ask the person, but not face to face? You need to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. Okay. And then identify who on your team can be able to ask on your behalf, but you have to ask. I hope that answers your question, Angela.
Yeah, no, that's really helpful. And just a sneaky one I'll sneak in is that that was very helpful. But so when you talk of help, and I think some of the challenges, obviously, in the NGO sector, everybody's looking for money. And what I've found is that when you can't help financially, we can help in other ways, you know, by sharing platforms and things like that. I guess that's more of a comment than a question, but sometimes it's met with a bit of surprise, you know, because like I said, they're really, when people need funding, they need to put things on. So I just wonder if you had any tips about, I don't know, how you even promote the fact that there are a number of ways that you can help, and it's not just financial, although people do need funds.
Yeah, what I've learned in the last few years, especially when it comes to NGO and asking for money, is actually not to ask for money, if you know what I mean. It kind of puts people off. So what you could do now is to just, you know, this is the event that I'm doing, you know, where, you know, you can talk about the fact that you are trying to raise money. If you can, you know, promote it on your social media, whatever, we'll appreciate. If somebody wants to donate, they will donate because they can clearly see that you are looking for money. by the text, by the link that you sent. And so I think that asking for money nowadays, especially during COVID, when everybody is going through money challenges, is to try and figure out a way in which you are not asking for money, but you are asking for money. Okay, so just sending that text, you know, kind of talking about what happened in a previous thing of your event or whatever, and the success of that should be able to hint the person what you're looking for. Do you understand? So I hope that's helpful.
Really helpful. Thanks very much.
Can I just add, Angela, and for the benefit of everyone on there, and that it's interesting that this has come up because Shirley and I were speaking just before we came online, that there is something that we call cultivation. You need to cultivate your donors. You need to cultivate your potential donors. And sometimes a cultivation event, you know, people with big budgets or NGOs with big budgets do cultivation events. People come and just eat and drink, and they just present, you know, the impact stories and what they've achieved over the years and the plans for the future and how much it will cost them to deliver those plans. They're cultivating. You know, for you as a small NGO without that kind of budget, you know, and I've had some of the members here cultivate me, and I know they're cultivating me because they send me their impact reports. I see it and I think, I really want to help them, you know, and I donate towards their cause. You know, without, but they didn't come out right and say, you know, Madam Yvonne, please support our work. They just said, or they might say, can you share this with your network? And that gets my attention to actually look at the work that they're doing. And it might be an area that, you know, that potential funder or donor, you know, is connected to or has an interest in. And they might think, you know, they're saying it only costs, you know, 10 Ghana cedis or 10 pounds to help, you know, 3 young people. That is a no-brainer. You know, you're donating. So do, you know, as we enter 2021, I would encourage you all, take the time and document your successes in 2020. And it's not just all text, images, you know, some of testimonials from people, you know, send them out to your network. And it's a way of cultivating, and people would actually connect to your cause and might want to support you in that way. Okay. I'm quite conscious that we've got a few people who want to ask questions. So Osikeni, the floor is yours. Do ask your question. And then after Osikeni, if we can have Abdul Noah and then Techno F1. Osikeni, you're on mute.
Thank you very much, Auntie Yvonne. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good. I want to ask, Auntie Denta was saying that we need to take risk in everything that we are doing. There's this challenge that I'm going through personally, which I some time ago shared my business idea with Auntie Shirley, which I wanted to help the needies in terms of fabric sector in sewing. So when I traveled to Europe and I became stuck in Turkey, I found out Turkey is clothing. I found out Turkey is a clothing hub for the whole Europe. So I decided to make a cloth, which a men's shirt, and label it made in Ghana. And then give it a name that suits Ghana system. So my brand was called Osikeni, and it was labeled made in Ghana. Here is the case: when I ship the clothes to Ghana, most of Ghanaians who were interested in the clothes, they purchase it. They like the clothes, but because of I name it Osikeni and I label it made in Ghana, that was the end. They didn't want to hear anything made in Ghana. But the idea was to test the market and see if Ghanaians will accept the made in Ghana, so that I can then gather money and buy the machines. Then I will call those who are in need as they are learning, then we are making money out of that in the market. So now that they have quenched the fire in me to do that, how can I take, because the money has already gone, how can I take risk and buy machines and then again to start, because already they have proved to me that they don't like made in Ghana. So even if I'm in Ghana, I have to target made in Turkey or made in Italy before they will accept that it is quality. So in this case, how am I going to tackle my business again?
Okay, I'll answer this question. And I'm sorry, but that would have to be my last one, Auntie Shirley. I'm sorry. They're calling me. So okay. So Osikani, before you did the clothing and stuff, did you do research? Did you do a market research and find out whether these people will buy it if it's made in Ghana? If it has a label made in Ghana? Did you do a few? Did you do have a core what's this word? Did you test it with a few people, like gather a few people?
Marketing research.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay, Denta, please, you can leave us. I think they are calling you. Thank you very much for your time today. We can see that they are calling you.
I think what we do then, Denta, if we can get those individuals that had questions for you to connect with you on, on Instagram or Facebook, and
please share my email with them. I put it on the platform. Don't be afraid to email me or Sikeni and the rest of the people that are on the platform. I apologize that I can't answer and I apologize. I just have to quickly go and sort out this issue that they've come for me to. So I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Denta, and I hope the team wins.
Hey, Jerry, now.
Right, that's excellent. And again, apologies on Denta's behalf. We're so blessed to be able to have the support of our panelists, including Denta, who are still trying to make time to support this event. We will put Denta's contact details for you, and please follow her on Instagram or Facebook, connect with her, make yourself known that you were on this platform this evening and you heard her speak and you had a few questions for her. And I know she will come back to you. Before we continue, I would like us to hear from one of our beneficiaries, Wise Youth Foundation, Charles Ghani. I believe Charles is now overcome those connectivity issues, and he's going to say a few words about how the seminars, the virtual seminars and workshops have really helped his organization. So Charles, over to you.
Charles, can you hear us?
Yes, I just connected. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
Yes.
So Charles, just tell us a bit about your NGO, Wise Youth Foundation, what you do, in a few words, and tell us how the seminars, especially I believe it was the leadership seminar, which was more like a turning point for you, that really propelled your organization or helped you, as a leader to turn things around.
All right, thank you very much, Madam, and good evening to each and everybody on board here this evening. Apologies for not coming in early due to bad network here in Ghana. Yes, my name, as said earlier, my name is Charles Ghani, and I am the founder of Wise Youth Foundation. It's a youth-led organization based in Winnipeg, Ghana, the central region, and basically we advocate for the rights and well-being of adolescents, particularly girls. We educate them by providing resources and education on adolescent sexual and reproductive health. Our key area is on curbing teen pregnancy and gender and sexual-based violence. Yes, so basically that is what YSEED Foundation is all about. Somewhere in May, if I could remember correctly, that was when Madam Shelley shared with me a seminar on leadership. Earlier, I had met her in Accra for one of the Ncvoghana workshops, and in fact, it was amazing. So I never declined. I opted to join this meeting, and in fact, at the end of the meeting, it was wonderful. I really thank God because I was at the verge of some kind of confusion within when I started the organization. I didn't know where to go as a leader, and so Dr. Wax gave me the opportunity to realign, re-strategize, and also the kind of he told me how, as a leader, you need to have the right kind of attitude going forward, where you are the vision bearer. And so, right after that intriguing session, I was empowered enough. Immediately the next day, I came back to Winneba, and I started mobilizing. I started creating all those my youth, my people that I work with, the volunteers. I started galvanizing all of them together. And immediately within that month, if I could remember correctly, it was World Menstrual Hygiene Day, which normally falls on the 28th of May each and every year. So that was our first target. We decided to raise sanitary towels and pads for young girls along the coastal areas. Our target was 1,000 pads. And to my utter amaze, we were able to solicit more than that. We visited 3 communities within the central region to be able to share sanitary pads to them. That was during the COVID period. That was during the COVID period, because we thought that during the COVID period, our slogan was that pandemics do not stop the shedding of blood. So whilst within the pandemic area, girls were continuing to have their cycle and all those things. So in fact, it was a first step. After that, we went on, school got reopened, government opened schools, and were able to mobilize again with the little resources that we had, and distributed some PPEs to selected schools within Winneba. And there again, within the COVID period, we celebrated one of our biggest achievement for the year. That was the International Day for the Girl Child. And in fact, the whole program was a success. I had many international and local organizations partnering, including Ncvoghana, and it was amazing. So to top it over, I think attending the leadership conference by Dr. Wax gave me that extra energy, because I thought I was on the verge of collapsing. I thought of quitting. And Dr. Wax realigned, gave me that reassurance that not everybody is going to believe in me, or the friends that I have, those who I started with, not everybody is going to end up with me. So I am the vision bearer. I should keep with the good attitude, and make sure that I'm still in line with the vision and mission of the organization. So this evening, I just want to encourage every young person out there who is on this platform that never think that you are too young, and with the struggles and everything that you're going through with your organization, just keep focused, and at the right time, your struggles and everything will pay it off. So thank you.
Wow, Charles, that was at another level. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm encouraged by what you said, because for us, for Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philanthropy Network, when we receive such feedback on the impact of these virtual seminars that we've held, it really encourages us to do what we do. And Sandra, I hope that you will relay Charles's testimony back to Dr. Wax. He gave him, the impetus really to carry on and not lose faith in his vision. So share that with him. Charles, I hope you've connected with Dr. Wax.
Yes.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind you joining the Millionaire Circle, since he's already got you on track, and you're doing what you need to do to move
I have been following him since, and he throughout his social media handles, I listen, I get encouraged by his comment and everything, and he's been an amazing. Even on his birthday, I wished him very well because he's been a great part of my journey. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I hope for those of you on the platform as well, this has encouraged you. And again, you will go back and listen to the leadership seminar, the recording of the leadership seminar, and all the others seminars and workshops that we've had over the last eight to 9 months, and draw some lessons from that going forward. Thank you very much again, Charles. At this point, I would like to introduce a special gentleman. I like to refer to him as the man of excellence, because I like anybody who refers themselves to excellence, because that is what we need to aspire to do, that whatever we do it with excellence. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jerry Biscoff, who's a brand strategist and the CEO of Sensitive Branding. And I must say, Jerry has been very supportive of Ncvoghana and a number of organizations that are linked to our work, including Code Nation 1957. So Jerry spoke to us about strategic branding and how we can use strategic branding again to help our NGOs to work effectively and to get ourselves out there. So Jerry, pick up some of the high points from your last workshop, and anything else that you feel we need to know, since the last training session.
Right, thank you very much, Madam Yvonne. Good evening, everyone. I believe we already enjoying the session. So, as you rightly heard, my name is Jerry Biscoff, your brand strategist. I like to say your brand strategist because I know after this session, we really have to connect and then get well branded. Okay? Before I get into anything, I believe you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Jerry.
Hello? Yvonne, I believe. Okay. So before I get into anything, I got very excited when I heard Osikeni's issue about made in Ghana and his brand Osikeni. And I was like, oh, I wish I could handle this question at the moment. I'm like, okay, let me just have patience, and when it gets to my turn, I'll address Osikeni's issue. I totally understood that Osikeni had an issue with branding that he doesn't even know. And when you know the problem, the solution is half gotten. We've already seen half of the solution. But if you don't know the problem, where the problem is actually coming from, it's difficult, right? So let me quickly get into what I did with the NCBO, the role of branding for NGOs, before I get into the issue, right? So I made points on getting your organization to stand out. Branding actually, the first thing you would want to think about branding is how you can be able to differentiate your firm or your NGO, your company from your competitors. When I mention competitor, an NGO might wonder, or a social worker might wonder, competition, am I in competition with anyone? Believe me, you are actually in competition. When you are coming for money from Jerry Biscoff, let's say about 3 of you are running an NGO, 2 other people are also running their NGOs, and you're all coming to me at a particular period of time. You need some donation from me. It might not be first come, first serve, but I know you're all trying to get my attention. I might look out for the one who really appeals to my emotions, okay? Before I do anything, I'll be like, okay, I connect with this particular person the more than the other people. So why don't I give this person this amount, and maybe another time when I have money, I can donate to these people, to these social workers for their duties. So that makes you get into competition, because if you appeal to me the more, you might receive that funding than the other two people. But if you don't appeal to me, then it doesn't come to you. So how then do we appeal to donors? How then do we appeal to donors? We should be careful about the way we do.
Oh, I was just asking, what was the best part?
Present them to society. We should be careful about the way we go about our projects and how we present them to society. Before you bring anything to Facebook, have you made sure that you've taken certain things into consideration? How are you polishing what you are about doing, right? Just tomorrow, Code 67 is visiting Fishy Foundation and Fishy Orphanage. I beg your pardon, Fishy Orphanage. And if Code 67 is looking for donation outside, the way they carry themselves, first of all, will be something that people will look at. What's Code 67 all about? Okay, before I can put my funds into Code 67 to support their work, how am I sure that Code 67 will deliver? How am I sure that Code 67 is not just as it's not as calm? Okay, so some of these things will correct these things before you even approach anybody for donation. This goes a long way to talk about reputation. There are a lot of people who have wrong perception about what we are doing. They probably don't understand the way you do your things. So if you are looking at attracting certain caliber of people, I would love to recommend branding to you. You may understand branding as just some combination of colors, some icons, some shapes here and there. You come up with logo and anything that has to do with brand identity. But what I would really recommend to you more is about how you can get into the feelings of people. How do you get into the feelings of people? I believe we've all heard about Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou once said, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Which means getting people to feel a certain type of way is very much crucial. So how then do you get people to feel a certain type of way? One, it is through your storytelling. Okay? So now I'm not talking about logos or colors or anything, but if you're conscious about how you want people to feel about what you're doing, because what you're doing is the news. But how then can I be moved to support what you're doing? Tell the story that can move you. Tell me how you moved a needy child from this point to the next point, and how you transformed the life of that needy child. The next time I see you coming to seek for funds or anything that you're going into, I have seen what you're doing. I have fallen in love with the stories that you once told me. I will not hesitate to support you. So the logos and other things you might do will just become your identity. The moment I see that logo, I know that is you. That is just to be able to identify you, to be able to identify your organization. That is when you are really going to focus on brand identity or logo or any other thing that has to do with what people get to recognize about you. So when you're thinking branding, you think about feeling, how you want people to feel. And it really happens when you really have purpose. Your purpose is well defined. If you are into social entrepreneurship, as a social worker, you feel you have purpose. That's very true, or that can be very true. But how do you communicate your purpose? How do you communicate your purpose? You should be very conscious about how you communicate your purpose. And in telling the story, how you were even moved about someone's story before you got involved, and also telling people the things that you really care about, the things that you are very passionate about. By so doing, you will be able to connect with your purpose, and then you will come a long way to support you. So if you are into NGO over here, or if you're just a business person, you just want to take advantage of this session, please look at branding beyond brand identity and look at how you'll be able to evoke the emotions of people beyond logos. So Mr. Osikeni is probably just a brand. Let me tackle this one before I finish. So you said you started this brand, you called it Osikeni, and you said it's made in Ghana, and people didn't support you the way you expected. First of all, business can be funny. Entrepreneurship can be funny. Sometimes your expectations don't happen the way you really planned it. It happens all the time. But that shouldn't mean that something can't work. This is where I want to come in. Did you really consider branding? Maybe you considered branding as just putting up a logo, like I said earlier, and coming up with a name, and you start selling. From the way you spoke, I'm very confident that you did not give the brand you came about a purpose. Now the purpose goes beyond you as a person into the business that you're running. Business is treated, or must be treated as a person. Okay? So if you are not treating the business as a person and not giving the business a purpose and not giving the brand a purpose, believe me, you are going to fail at big time. Just like you have already, should I say failed? I don't want to say you failed. I don't want to say you failed. So, Osikeni, what if you give the Osikeni brand a purpose? Giving it a purpose is about how you will get people to feel a certain type of way about what you're doing. And how you can do that is by, first of all, sitting down to think, what do I want, what I'm doing, this brand I'm building to move society, or what do I want to communicate through this brand? There is a brand here in Ghana called Fear No Man, and Kula Perry, the gentleman who's beyond Fear No Man, is proud to say it's made in Ghana. And believe me, Kula Perry is able to move South Africans down here to Ghana. People from the UK, US, down here to Ghana to come and support Fear No Man. He produces the things here, he does the design here, and he's confident about what he's doing. If you see how Kula Perry is moving Fear No Man, you have no doubt in Made in Ghana. Made in Ghana brand can only be made by us. To understand branding, to understand the positioning of branding, and positioning is how the process. Brand positioning is the process of occupying a space in the minds of customers. If you want to occupy a space in someone's mind, then you have to sit down and design what mesh that you want to occupy in the minds of these people. Here no man says that, here no man. You are created by God, and people who are created by God are supposed to be fearless. God has given us an order to dominate and subdue the earth. So how are you going to dominate the earth when you are so shy, when you are so much afraid? Can you dominate even your area? You can't. So here no man is able to create a culture of fearless people. So the moment you put on this brand, you feel there's a spirit that has come all over you, and you begin to do things fearlessly. Just like Nike will say, just do it. That thing alone, that message alone, that phrase alone, just do it, means everything about the brand Nike. So, what is Ncvoghana about?
Sorry, Jerry. Sorry, Jerry. We've had some comments here that your line is breaking up. It's very difficult to hear you, and I thought it was probably because it's for those in Ghana, but I think some of the people in the UK have also said that they're finding it quite difficult to hear you.
Okay, is it okay now?
Guys, if it's okay now for you guys, can you just type in the comments section and say yes or no?
Hello?
We can gauge, whether there's still you're still getting that interference, or that the line is dropping.
Said yes.
Okay, Sandra says yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the line is dropping.
Can you hear me now?
It's not bad. Better than before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Isaac says he can hear you and he's in Ghana. These are some of the challenges of internet connectivity. So please bear with us. And again, with all the other workshops and seminars we've had in the past, if you haven't had an opportunity to listen to Jerry's seminar on branding and using branding effectively to move your NGOs forward, please do access the Ncvoghana Facebook page and Instagram. The recordings are there to listen to. There was a lot that we learned from there, and I think it's quite key, going forward, that we actually see how we can improve our brands. And Jerry, can I also say that, shall I connect Osikeni with yourself? I think you're both in Ghana, and I hope that you're both in Accra. To take some of the conversation offline and see if, you can help Osikeni to reposition that Osikeni brand. I like the Osikeni brand, the fact that it's talking about Sika. So, let's just see how we can help Osikeni to reposition the brand and to get the brand, the messaging out there and look at reinventing the brand and relaunching the brand. Okay, so Jerry,
that's very right. I'll be available for him and any other person who wants
to pick up some of the high points, please.
Hello. So, like I said, I'll be available for anyone who wants to connect with me.
Your line is a lot better now, Jerry.
A lot better now. What happened?
Anything more you'd like to say, please go ahead, because I think your line is a lot better now.
Okay. I connected it with the speaker, and I didn't know when this thing actually messed up, but I'm sorry about that. And so, like I'm saying, I'll be available for Osikeni and any other person who wants to connect. So if I have to hit on the point of Osikeni's brand again, I'm saying that if you are building a brand, first of all, you have to think about the sort of message you want to put behind the brand. If Nike never said just do it, I might not know what they will be doing. But because of that word, just do it, they don't come saying we sell shoes, we sell any sports kit or anything. They just come to inspire you to want to be the best version of yourself. That way, I believe everybody will be able to connect with Nike. When you put on a Nike shirt, you feel you'll be motivated. You feel you are just like Cristiano Ronaldo, who is a brand ambassador for Nike. And there is a brand here in Ghana, like I said earlier, and because of the network challenge, the name is Fear No Man. Fear No Man has really built a culture that if you put on his shirt, you feel you are actually fearless. You feel like a lion. That is the attitude he has put on himself and is encouraging people, whatever message he's putting out there. And Fear No Man is a Ghana brand. And Kula Perry, the owner of this brand, is very proud about Made in Ghana. So Made in Ghana has no problem. The problem is us. We don't understand how to build brands the way the Western world goes about building brands. And we are in 21st century. We've seen a lot of brands and we are so much impacted by these brands. And it's about time we learn how to go about these things. Let's look beyond logos and understand that in a brand, there is a purpose. A brand that moves you has a purpose. They come to you, they speak a language that will inspire you, a language that will comfort you, a language that will make you feel all your problems are gone. But it's just a brand. When you're taking Coca-Cola, you feel a certain type of way. It's not just about what you're drinking. They have placed something in the drink that is intangible. And I'm not talking about anything spiritual. It's about just the message they constantly communicate to make you feel you are taking the best drink in the world. So Osikeni and any other person who is listening to me, please, let's look at branding as something that will be able to move or evoke the emotions of people. Let me re-emphasize on Maya Angelou's quote that says, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And branding for the feelings of people is something that you really have to be strategic about. My name is Jerry Biscoff, your brand strategist. If you have any questions, I'm available to answer. If you have any issue, you can reach out to me. Let's help your brand get to the next level. Our slogan is taking it deeper, sensitive, taking it deeper. Let's go beyond the normal way of building brands and do something deeper like the Western world are going about branding. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jerry, for that insightful high point that you raised there. You know, there's no doubt that branding goes beyond having a logo. And I'm really pleased that, you know, you are available to our members and our members can reach out to you and get that support that they need going forward to really look at the brand strategy and, you know, incorporate in that brand strategy all that intangible elements of it that would make people connect to that brand and take the organizations forward. I'll now ask our participants if anyone has any questions for Jerry. Please feel free to raise your hand or type your questions into the comments section.
Please, I have one question to ask you.
Okay, Francis, go ahead and ask your question.
Please, I used to be on the 1957 code, and all of a sudden it went off. So since he's representing them, I want to ask him what happened to that brand.
Please, are you saying what happened to Code 57?
Yes, please.
Oh, nothing has happened to Code 57. We only got better. So if you are not part of us, please try and connect with us again. You're welcome.
I was platform, I was on the platform, okay, and all of a
Okay.
sudden the little misunderstanding, and all of a sudden Pastor David dissolved the group whilst there were people who are taking their time. Jerry, I know you might remember me, Francis Amuzu, part of Mother's Foundation Africa.
Okay.
Francis, I think I recognize your name now. Can I ask you both, perhaps do you want to take this offline? I think I'm very much aware that Code Nation 1957 is still, doing what it does. It's doing great work in Ghana. Jerry, I believe you're the representative in Ghana, and you should be able to answer Francis's questions and help him reconnect with the good work that you're doing at Code 57.
Sure. So, Francis, let's connect, okay? There's no issue. We'll get back together.
Okay. Any further questions from anyone else?
Francis, I'll send you Jerry and Pastor David's contacts after the meeting. Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Any further questions on branding that you'd like Jerry to answer for us? Okay. Well, in the absence of any further questions, I'm going to introduce Sarah Boateng, who is founder and CEO of IGEA, which is Invest in Girls Education Africa. Sarah is going to say a few words about her organization and also a few words about how these virtual training events and seminars have actually helped her organization with the work that they're doing in the northern part of Ghana. So Sarah, lovely to have you. The floor is all yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, Shirley and Yvonne, for putting this on as well. So my name is Sarah, and I'm the founder of IGEA Enterprise. And we advocate for investment into the quality education of girls in rural communities within Northern Ghana. So we're on a mission and we're passionate about ending period poverty. So we currently have a program called Menstruate and Educate. So we aim to provide girls with reusable period pads so they can still attend school whilst on their period. And I just want to say a massive thank you to Ncvoghana, Shirley and Yvonne, because they have been so impactful in where we are today, just helping instill confidence in us. When I started this, I was so kind of scared just to start it, but meeting Shirley, I just have to say she is incredible. She's literally become like a mum to me. She's just so wise in her advice and her support. And the way our organization has gone, for example, working with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, we're a part of the Obama Foundation, their girls program. So we would have never had that opportunity if we wasn't encouraged and pushed like I was by Shirley. And that's kind of my story, but I just want to say that I'm really grateful. And if anybody is worried about starting something or needs any push, Ncvoghana is definitely the place for you to be, and all the support you can get. I would say drain them from it because it's there and it's available, and they really want you to succeed. So that's what I have to say. You're on mute, Yvonne.
Apologies. Thank you very much, Sarah. I'm really pleased that you have found the support that you've had this year from Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philantropy Network really useful. I know she said drain us, but please don't drain us.
I use that term literally.
Please don't drain us. I would say network, connect with the likes of Sarah and other organizations that are doing well in certain areas, because what you would find is that some organizations on the platform might be very good in fundraising or very good in putting their impact reports together or very good in attracting or collaborating with other NGOs within their sector. So there is a lot that we can learn from each other. But by all means, do come to Shirley and I and come and pick our brains, and we'll be happy. We'll be happy to support you. So Shirley, Sarah, just tell us a bit about. So you mentioned your connection with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust and the Obama Foundation. How did you get the opportunity to network with these organizations?
Yeah, sure. So with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, I think it was me mentioning some work on Twitter at the time. And then somebody DM'd me that I should get in contact with some people there that would probably like to share my story. But then it took maybe like 8 months for them to kind of get back to me. It was a very long, kind of winded process. But I think I just was focused on kind of me doing the work, and just seeing what opportunities come from that way. And then from then I reached out again and they were like, oh, we love what you're doing. We want to build a partnership with you. So that's kind of how we started. And they're incredible in like featuring our work and giving us the platform that would really be difficult to kind of get. In terms of the Obama Foundation, I actually stalked like who the person was that worked there, that managed that program on LinkedIn. So once I found her on LinkedIn, then I messaged her, and then she saw what we do, and then she introduced me to somebody else. But I was in talks with them for about 6 months. It was quite a long process, but I think it's just being patient, like not being pushy, but just like, don't just focus on that, like continue doing the work. And just because that's what they want to see, that you're actually, no matter what, you're still doing the work and you still care about what you're doing. Because a lot of these things, sometimes it's easy to be like, I'm doing something because it's good or because you get a name. But like, I don't, if nobody ever knew me, but they knew IG, like that's all I care about. And that's what I'm passionate about. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I think that's very good advice for us all. Keep cultivating, keep putting your work in front of people that you'd want to take notice of your work, and be patient. Cultivating relationships takes time, and sometimes the end result might not be financial support. It could be mentoring, it could be exposure, it could be making your work known to others. So Sarah, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Wask. I can see that you've been able to join us. Hello, Dr. Wask.
Hi, hi everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're very busy this evening, and you sent Sandra to speak on your behalf. You'd be pleased to know, well, you would not be pleased to know, because you know already that she does an amazing, she stood in very well for you, and she's done an amazing job of talking us through leadership. Is there anything at all that you'd want to pick up from the last seminar that you delivered in May around leadership? I'm still reeling and talking about the golden circle, and please, I'd love to hear more about that again, and anything else that you really need to hear about.
Okay. Leadership is very key in everything that we do, especially after what we've all been through this year. 2020 was something that really affected great corporations, and those who lacked the spirit of leadership also really fell, less to what was expected. So I think that as an NGO CEO or as a vision bearer, you have to remember your why. You have to remember what keeps you going. You have to know and remember the reason why you started this. And that kind of hunger that you already have will usher you into that greatness you're looking for. Because one, there are thousands of people that have been affected. And when you are a CEO representing an NGO brand, there are thousands of people who are looking at you and they are watching you, and you are their source of inspiration, you are their source of hope. So if you are a true leader, you need to capitalize on. I saw the list of the topics. I love the 21st century technology. I saw some of the great things that the speakers were to speak about today. And I think that they are all compounded, you understand, together. Because if you're a leader, you need to have a foresight. You have to see beyond anything. You need to evolve. You have to be able to capitalize on 21st century technologies and innovation and opportunities to be ahead of time. You understand? Because if there's COVID now and you're a leader and you are crying, what about your followers? You understand? So all these things are very, very important, because there are thousands of industries that have shut down because their leaders were lacking the spirit of sight. They couldn't see nor plan ahead of time. You understand? So I think Sandra came to fire the page today. I'm not going to take enough time, but maybe next time we'll have the opportunity to share, and I'll really come in big time and help you guys be enlightened. Yeah. But I'll be here for questions and answers. I will be here to deliver answers to most of the questions we asked today. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Dr. Waz. And I must say that you celebrated, was it a big birthday this year? So belated birthday wishes from me and all.
Thank you very much.
It's unfortunate that we couldn't join your parties, but next time we'll show if there's another big one, we will make an appearance just to
Yeah,
show us.
we'll have one as a family. Yes.
Okay, excellent. So on the back of what Dr. Wask has just shared with us, are there any questions from the participants? Any questions for Dr. Wask? Okay. I haven't seen any hands raised or any question, but if you do, if you're mulling over what you've heard, there will be some time towards the end for questions and answers. So think about your questions, and we've got Dr. Wask with us, and please do find some questions later on. I now want us to look at, to move on to effective communication. We had this, we talked about effective communication a few months ago, and we really focused on how we can communicate effectively on the phone. I personally learned a lot from there. And I'm really pleased and delighted to introduce Mr. Kofi Boafo, who is a customer service consultant. And if you do, if you do the similarities and work the maths, you can also tell that Mr. Kofi Boafo is related to a very important lady on this platform, Shelley Abedi Boafo. Mr. Kofi Boafo is going to just pick up again from some of the high points from that seminar he delivered on effective communication over the phone. So over to you, Mr. Boafo.
Thank you very much. Just before we started, perhaps maybe 5 minutes into your meeting, the lights went out where I am in Accra, Ghana. And so I had to switch to my phone. And just as I was leaving to go and get the generator started and everything, the lights came back on. But the current was a bit like that. So I missed perhaps just a little bit. So for all those speakers who've come before me, kudos to all of you. I heard a little bit of what Sandra was saying. She did very, very well. She was preaching. And I think Yvonne, you picked up on that. And so did Amma. Did very well. Let me just say a few words because I think time is fast spent. But let me just say, everybody who is involved in an NGO, whether you are the CEO, founder, what have you, or even a volunteer, then you are automatically by default in the customer service business. Why do I say this? Because unlike other traditional businesses where the bottom line is how much money are we going to make, for customer service is how much satisfaction is the customer going to get. And so for that reason, it makes sense that we learn so much about customer service so we can serve our people properly. Now, so who are our customers? Unlike, again, the traditional business where someone goes in, buys something, pays for it, and that person becomes your customer. With NGOs, it's different. You have two customers, the way I see it. Somebody correct me if it's not the way. Two customers. Number one, the end user, that is the beneficiary. That's your primary customer. So that person needs to be satisfied. The child with cancer, HIV, AIDS, what have you, the widows or what have you, they are your end users. But unlike other businesses, they don't pay for what the service they receive. Other people pay for it, the donors. So you have your primary customer that needs to be satisfied. That's the beneficiary. And then you have your secondary customer, which is the donor. So you have these two things that you're juggling all the time. So if you haven't got effective communication skills, you miss it, because donors too at times have their own way of doing things. The beneficiaries, number one, the needs they've got, but the funder wants to fund something else. And at times you have to use all your skills, to bring it to bear. And I think Jerry picked up on something that Michelangelo said, and it's very, very, we went on holiday some time back, and I still remember the feeling you get from the holiday, after the pain of how much it cost, the feeling is what keeps you. And I think it was Theodore Roosevelt who said that people don't care how much you know, until they know how much you care. And I think even the Ghanaian electorate over these last couple of days, because what I know, or what I heard they were like is that you could pay them and then they'll give you your vote. Now they are so sophisticated. You pay them, they'll take your money, but still vote anyhow they want to. So if they find out you're a big time minister, and that's how many of the ministers and our junior deputy ministers just fell. They thought they had it in the bag, but the people went in there and voted differently, because perhaps they were so busy with their ministerial posts and they didn't care about the ordinary person, and they won't vote for you. So for customer service, it's the care you are giving to the people that is most important. But I think in your work, many of you spoke. Number one, you identify needs. That's customer service. You have to you meet the need, and you have to find a way for the person who is receiving the need to be satisfied. And then also the person who is paying for it is not the end user. So you've got all these things going on, so I think next year, we really should talk more about not only communication, but how to actually deliver a service that will make our customers very well. And there's this interesting research. Let me just finish with this. And it goes like this. It says that if you are in the customer service business, because you avoid a lot of angry customers, annoyance, and petty quarrels, you live longer. You avoid high blood pressure, ulcers, cancers, wrinkles, So they're looking at customer service, again, also from a medical point of view, as a therapeutic or a creative benefit, And also there's something called conflict resolution that everybody who is in leadership should know about. And that's also one of the things that we do in customer service. If the donor wants something and this wouldn't fit, this wouldn't help the end user, that is the beneficiaries, then you are conflicted straight away because the requirements are different. And then you need all your skills, which we also teach to get the donor to be able to now do what you want to do. So I want to bless each and everyone on the platform. All the speakers have done extremely well. I'm so proud of what Yvonne and Shirley is doing. Dental spoke, Amma spoke, and everybody else. So I'm here. I knew I was going to speak last anyway. And I knew if the lights had gone off, then I would have gone straight to bed. But thank you all for the great work you're doing. You can call on me anytime, and I will take my time and take you through the steps that one needs, not only to be able to communicate effectively, but also to have that sense of, the networking. I think Amma spoke about that. The leadership that Sandra spoke about, if you got all these and your customer service things, then you throw it all out. In America, 75 billion is lost through what? Through rude or poor customer service. People might be even in the process of making a purchase, and if they don't get a service, they just abort it. 75 billion. So think about it, how much we're losing in Ghana. So we need it in our business big time, especially because it's a not-for-profit organization. Thank you very much for your time. It's time well spent. I won't take any more of your time. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Waffle. That was very insightful. And again, I think we need to spend a bit more time and delve into how we can, we can provide that excellent customer service to our stakeholders, primarily our beneficiaries. I think most of the time when we think that we're NGOs and it's not for profit, and beneficiaries are probably getting the service for free, we can't be willy-nilly about the service we provide. We need to deliver to a very high standard.
Yeah.
So we will, we will be calling on you to help us as we shape and plan the activities that we want to do in 2021. Do you have any questions at all for Mr. Boafo at this stage? I'll just open the floor for some questions. Okay, well, in the absence of any questions for Mr. Boafo, I'll open, the Q&A section more broadly now. So if you do have any questions at all relating to the topics that we've covered tonight on leadership, on entrepreneurship, on creating an online presence for a purpose, branding, or effective communication, please fire away, put your hands up, type it in the chat, or if you have any other question that hasn't been covered.
Hello, Auntie. Can't you hear us? Oh, never mind.
Right, I think right there, that must be my goddaughter who's joined because I recognize the voice. But the floor is open for questions. So please raise your hand. Do let us know if you have any questions, and we will do our best to answer those questions for you. Right. So I can't see any hands raised or questions coming through now. In the absence of any further questions, I will now invite my co-host and CEO and founder of Ncvoghana, Mrs. Shirley Abedi Boafo, to talk us through some of our impact plans for 2021 and give the closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Right, what an insightful evening. I'm surprised that nobody's asking any questions, like everybody's so quiet. Anyway, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, or even if you think about any question later, please email it to us and we get the right answers for you. Anyway, before I start, on behalf of Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philantropy Network UK, I want to give thank you so much. Especially, we want to thank God for how far He has brought us this year. As Dr. Wax said, the 21st century, as a leader, you need to adapt to situations. And since that COVID started, I think we've done about 6 events. And any event that we've done, we've had wonderful speakers. Dr. Wax was our first speaker. We've had Yvonne too was our speaker on governance. Yvonne, before I finish, maybe you can throw 1 or 2 governance tips for us when I finish. We've had Yvonne, we've had Denta, Amma, Jerry, and Mr. Boafo. I mean, you've come to teach us so many things. That's why we decided to bring you back on today. So thank you so much for your time. Dr. Wax, I mean, he's been so busy. He was able to get somebody to come and talk to us. And finally, he's made a point to join. That means he loves the work that you guys are doing. He supports us so much. So I just want to thank all the panelists. And finally, I also want to thank all the attendees. Anytime that you are doing an event, you guys, you register and you come. Imagine if we are putting up an event and you don't come. What are we going to do? So we are really grateful that anytime that we're having an event, you come and join us. So thank you very much for that. So 2020 is about to end. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't even know how fast it's gone. So we need to start thinking about 2021 as an organization. But as Ncvoghana and Heartfelt Philantropy Network, we will continue to work collaboratively and support our member organizations in Ghana and the UK. So if you're on the platform and you have not registered with us, please put your email in the chat and we'll send a registration form for you to join. You know how much, just like Charles and Sarah said, the support that we give to our members it cannot be bought, So please, if you haven't joined us, send us and put your email in the chat and we'll send you a membership form to register. Secondly, we'll continue to support our members by fundraising as well. We'll also continue to help you by doing an organizational structure. Next year, going forward, we are thinking of doing more consultation services for our members. So for instance, we design a form, give it to you, and then you will go through with it, and then we'll help you to develop your organization effectively, because we feel that it's very, very, very important. We'll continue to do our capacity building trainings. And last but not the least, we are thinking of introducing a membership fee structure so that it will support our core costs and services. I think we've done this for about 2 years now, no cost. But before that, we will also bring you on board and ask your opinion before we bring these these charges. It's not going to be too much, but we'll talk to you about it. Finally, I think time is fast spent. Finally, because I want Yvonne also to talk about governance. Finally, we want to thank you all. We pray that next year is going to be a very, very prosperous new year for you and your organizations. And we know that your organization is going to move forward with all the teachings and all the support that you are going to have. So Merry Christmas to everyone and a prosperous new year to you and your organizations. Thank you very much for believing in what we do. Anytime that we are doing training, you come and listen and give your feedback. Thank you so much. Yvonne, the platform is yours.
Thank you very much, Shirley. Well summed up there. Great plans for 2021. I think we're going to be doing more fundraising because, to support our members. And again, this year we focused on making sure that your organizations are fit for purpose. And what I want to leave with you is, making sure also that the governance is fit for purpose. I personally would look at some of the organizations that we can bring together. For example, if you're supporting health-related matters or education matters or communities, that collaborative working, bringing you together, looking at your work and looking at how best we can present your work, to potential funders or to people that might support with some other pro bono services. Again, please take the time over the holiday period, over the Christmas period, if you have the time, please do go back and listen to all the seminars that we've had over the year. Listen to that, come back to us with some questions. Governance, from my point of view, is such a broad subject. We did a very useful case study on the kids company. I talked about looking and making sure that you have the right structures in place, because ultimately, when you go and seek funding, the first thing that a funder looks at is what is the nature of accountability towards your stakeholders, which is what governance is. And if you can't demonstrate how you are accountable to your stakeholders, which includes a potential funder, I think it will be challenging for any funder to have that confidence in your work, even though you've got the evidence to show that you are doing such interesting work and supporting communities. So, make good governance a priority. Look at your leadership style. Think about what you can do as an entrepreneur to even raise funds, commercially. For example, using Osikeni's example, where you have a structure such that you have a commercial entity which raises the funds, and the funds are then gifted into the charity, into the NGO, which is mostly a lot of the structures that I support here are that way. So when COVID hit, they were not really hit that hard because the part of the funding was actually coming within that governance structure or that group structure. I would also encourage you to look at your branding, look at communication, and network with the members, and share any lessons learned or any positive stories that you've been able to achieve through your work. So I'm pleased to say that we are on time according to my watch. And I want to thank you all for joining us again. The final part of this event is optional. We put it down as networking. What we forgot to mention was that maybe get yourself a drink and all the good work that you've done, and give yourself a pat on the back because you've all been amazing. You've all worked very hard to support your beneficiaries. And I know how challenging it's been with limitations on how much funding you could raise to do that work. So Good night, everyone. Feel free to stay on. I will be on. Shirley will be on, and ready to take the conversations offline.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Well done. Thank you very much.